All right, let's give a big hand, keep it going for our next comedian, Mr. Ramsey Swice.
Thank you very much. Ranjit and Glenn. Glenn was my teacher, actually. Good job, Eric.
Thank you.
Right, you're terrible.
Fuck you.
So yeah, like Eric's saying, it's Sunday at 11. Everyone should be at church. When I was at church, last time I was at church, I was holding this huge kettle of coffee, like 60 pounds of coffee. It was a picnic, and I asked this guy who I've always seen at church, I was like, hey, where do I plug this coffee machine in? He's like, find the fattest girl here. So I looked around. I'm like, all right. He's like, go plug it in her ass. I was like, wow. I'm like, you've been going to church for 20 years, and you just told me to put a plug in a girl's ass. So I was at this church, and there was this little peacock. I think that's what Scarface says, a little like 10-year-old girl, and she's like, hey, you're a chaperone. I said, yeah. I said, it's been a while since I've seen you. I said, last time I saw you had braces, and she started calling me a pervert. And I was like, wow, I was like, she's only 10 years old, something's wrong, still was like a little Satan. I'm like, I said, you're so pretty, someone like, you're gonna get married one day. And she ended up telling her parents and the priest, and they all shit enough bricks to build a church. Yeah, but I was at this church. It was Mass, and I was a chaperone, and just by bad luck, it was during Mass. The other chaperone came to sit next to me. It was a priest's first cousin, and his name is Isa, and Isa in English means Jesus. So I was like, all right, someone's gonna start laughing, either me or him, and he started laughing first, and he had to actually leave the church because it was during Mass. It was very embarrassing. And he came back, and I was like, thank God, because I didn't want to be the one to start laughing and embarrass everybody. And right when he came back, I started laughing because he had the audacity to come back. So we both had to leave the church, and we were outside the church, this is a true story, hugging and laughing. And the priest came out, and I thought he was going to get mad at us, but he started laughing, and he actually asked me if I wanted a beer. It's a pretty cool church. I'm a benevolent person. My favorite film was Liar Liar, and like for example, I got a good mind power. Like Christopher Walken was on Jay Leno once, and Jay Leno was asking all his questions, and Chris Walken wasn't answering his questions. And Jay's like, "Hey, why aren't you answering my question? What are you thinking about?" He's like, "Chew on chicken." I have very good mind control. For example, I've been abstinent for 7 years. Give it up for abstinence. My 7-year anniversary with my left hand. I call her Corky. It's kind of like that guy in the Scary Movie with the little Corky mashed potatoes. I'm gonna buy her a gift. I'm gonna buy her some lotion. But yeah, so. I'm terrible with women. I couldn't find a G-spot on a 10-pound vagina. But maybe why is because my eardrum, maybe why I'm bad with women is because my eardrum exploded. It takes 160 pounds of pressure for that to happen. So I guess I'm possessed by demons. That's why I don't get any. But in my last joke, English is funny. For example, this off sometimes means on, which leads to that quote, it's better to be pissed off than pissed on. Or detectives are called dicks for some reason. And the word miss means to fail, to be alone, an unmarried woman, and more fashionably, a transvestite. After all, Adam did create Eve with a rib.
Well, that set provided one of my favorite all-time moments in stand-up comedy, which is, everybody, let's give it up for abstinence. That was the best one. All right.